Yo, what's going on, guys? And these Clippers, they are bouncing back in a big way. They are clapping back. So let's give them finger snaps for being, you know what? The Los Angeles Clippers look unstoppable right now. And I am a big believer of the Utah Jazz. If you've been following my channel, you know how much I believe in the Jazz. Let me hear your thoughts. Do you think the Clippers are going to win this? I think this is going to be a 7-game series. And let's talk about, first off, if you look at this Utah, Kawhi dropped 31. I want to say Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson are legit. Marcus Morris is legitimately looking like a phenom. And in the games that he wasn't playing well, Reggie Jackson was the third scorer. It's been pretty unreal. Reggie Jackson came back down to earth this game, but for the postseason, he's averaging 16 points per game, while Marcus Morris for the postseason is averaging 10. And he had in the last few games, he's had some big moments. And God, godly, he went off. And even Pat Bev, who in my last video I was like, we haven't really seen much of Pat Beverly, and then he just came out and Ty Lue basically played him a lot. Reggie Jackson had his minutes cut back a little bit, so did Trey Mann, and I mean not Trey Mann, Terrence Mann. My apology, right there. And Pat Bev came out, got a steal and 4 freaking blocks. Okay, 4 blocks as a guard. Zubac and Nico Batum just took turns harassing Rudy Gobert. Rudy Gobert, basically, this game was a non-factor again. I mean, he had 11 points, but 8 rebounds only. And it's pretty freaking impressive what they've been able to do with him, just the height advantage and how they've been able to negate him. Jordan Clarkson has not been able to get himself going this series at times. Like, besides the 2 wins, the last 2 games, he hasn't been able to get himself going. And Derek Favors is basically a black hole. It's pretty freaking awful. He's not good at all on when being called upon. But if you look at this team, just look at what he's been able to do. The Clippers, they've been really successful. They've been shooting 47% from the field this game. They shot 40% from 3, and they hit a bunch of shots that they needed to. But yeah, so now the question is, do we believe that the Utah Jazz, can they come back? Can they make an impact? And this has all been happening without Mike Conley. Like, the Utah Jazz only had 1 more turnover. They didn't have any fast break points, and they had equal amount of points in the paint. So the question comes down to, they're being out rebounded. And look, Kawhi Leonard, I thought, Donovan Mitchell pairs up, Paul George is nothing, but it's really Marcus Morris and Reggie Jackson. I mean, Paul George did have 31 points, but still, he was like, yeah, he shot 40%. I mean, from 3, but he was 9 of 20 from. I mean, he was almost 50%. I guess he had a good game tonight. Paul George and Donovan. I feel like with Mike Conley coming back, this could fix some of the stuff, and I just get scared right now. This Clippers team is really good, and my biggest concern basically for this whole thing was, would they be able to. I thought the Clippers were streaky, but after there's 2 losses, they've just turned it around and they've just been hot, real hot. And obviously this was one of these past 2. This game was better for the Jazz than the previous, but still the Jazz lost. And it's very crazy because I don't know what you're doing right now. Will they be able to? Will Mike Conley be able to help? I get scared, and I think the Jazz can still win this, but this is going to be a 7-game series, guys, without a doubt. We're going to 7 games, and this is going to be pretty wild because we don't Ty Lue's looking like a good team. Like, they're like double team Rudy Gobert underneath, and then whenever basically forcing turnovers by just anybody inside. They're doing a lot of double teams, pesky defense, full court press, just being an annoyance to the Jazz, and it's just something that they're not used to. And it's pretty incredible to see what they've been doing. So let me hear you guys' thoughts down below. That's basically it, the video today. Let me hear your thoughts, comments. But that's it. Game 7, I'm going with Utah.